When fully trained, every disciple will be like his teacher. And team, that is our goal to be like Christ our Lord and teacher. Every day to enter more fully into his likeness. Every day to ask ourselves, did I act more like Christ or not? And being able to say, hopefully, yes, until finally I am fully like Christ. The issue is that until we die, there will always be a gap between where we are right now and where we want to be. That's why we have to become fully trained. Why we have to intentionally fast, intentionally give alms, intentionally pray. If we want to get anywhere, we have to be willing to take those steps. Be willing to change our own lives and solve our own problems. And that's hard to do, to solve our problems. It's much easier to solve other people's problems. Most of our entertainment is watching other people solve their problems. It's called TV, it's called gossip, it's called judging. And we feel better looking at other people's problems because they are fools who could easily solve all their issues. They just did a few things. You see someone that's struggling at school and you ask them, have you tried studying? Oh, you're tired? Have you tried sleeping more? Your boyfriend chews loudly. Well, you have to break up with them. Everyone else has problems that seem so easy and have simple solutions. But when it comes to myself, well, I'm more complicated and it's not so simple. The reality is, the only problems I can actually control, can actually work on, are your own. Everything else is a distraction from this reality. That's why in our gospel today, Christ says, why do you notice a splinter in your brother's eye, but ignore the wooden beam in your own eye? Remove the wooden beam first. Christ today is saying, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because otherwise, your helpful corrections aren't actually attempts to be helpful, but they're attempts to distract yourself from your own problems in life. You feel better by comparison, but you aren't actually moving forward. So if Lent coming up, it's a good time to check ourselves, to ask, what steps are needed to move forward? Sin is never the issue. Sin is bad, don't do it. But sin is not the issue. Sin doesn't come out of nowhere. Sin is the result of something deeper which produces the sin. Sin comes when we lack what we deeply need. Thus, we grasp after that true need in a false way, which brings forth more problems. Nature abhors a vacuum, but when that vacuum is in my heart, what foolish things do I do to fill it up? There's this thing in horse medicine, the equestrian veterinary science, called cribbing. Cribbing. Cribbing is when the horse bites onto a fence with its front teeth, arches its neck, and sucks in air over and over and over again. Cribbing. And over time, it causes problems to the horse. It hurts their teeth, causes them to lose weight. It's not good for their stomach to just take in air. It's also not good for the fence. But why do horses do something that just hurts them? Cribbing is a response to not feeling safe. Horses were made to run, roam, and graze freely. When they're confined to a stable for too long, they feel trapped and grow anxious and start to crib. It's called a stable vice, not because it doesn't change, but it's because it's caused by being stuck in the stable for too long. The stable, What's meant to be a place of safety and preparation for outdoor adventures becomes a place you stay in and never leave, and the horse begins to go crazy. Horses are meant to run and graze all day, but when stuck in their stable, they begin to pace, they begin to dig holes, they begin to bite, they begin to crib, they begin to do unsavory things. And the cowboy or horse girl that wants to solve this problem has to ask, why is my horse doing this? What's causing this? And they'll say, my beloved horse needs to be outside more often. My beloved horse needs to have a friend in his stall. That's why donkeys hang out with horses. My beloved horse needs to eat better food. Horses crib for a reason. Humans sin for a reason. You have to solve the actual problem, not just fix symptoms. You don't just sin no more, go back to the way of life that led you to sin. You have to address the roots. You have to take down that stable that led you here and rebuild a new stable that works for you. It's a place of true rest and preparation for adventure, and not a cage that causes me to crib. So this Lent, ask, what are my stable vices, and how can I rebuild my stable to meet my true needs, to grow more fully into the likeness of Christ? For this week, I have 2 tips. Tip 1. It's a joke about a man who goes to a doctor saying, Doctor, whenever I drink coffee, I experience this great pain in my eye. Doctor says, okay, well, do you stir creamer into your coffee? Yes, I do, doctor. Okay, next time, after you're done stirring the creamer, take the spoon out and then sip. Oftentimes, the solution to complex issues is simple solutions. Get more sleep, spend time in silence with God, drink water, go to the gym, be with friends. Just take the spoon out. With that in mind, the way we're going to rebuild our stables this Lent is with the official USF Lenten Penance. Just to spend 10 minutes at the end of your day doing an examine and writing what's on your heart. And just become more aware of your feelings, aware of God's movement in your life, aware of what's happening. That you can't change until you first recognize what's happening. It only happens if you slow down and notice the patterns of life. Our Lenten Homily series is going to be about awareness of heart. So by doing the official USF Lenten Penance, everything's going to be very integrated. It's going to be great. But at first, though, it'll be awkward, because, okay, hard for me to say what happened to my heart. Today I felt good. I don't know. But over time, you'll gain a greater understanding of self. And in 40 days, if you do this each day, you'll find you can give yourself over to God more fully because you know yourself more fully. You'll be able to see what patterns in your life leads to cribbing and then work to overcome them. So 10 minutes to examine and journaling at the end of your day, and just be more aware of what's happening in your heart. If you're blind to what's happening in your heart, you can't respond to God. But if you become just a tiny bit more aware, God can work through you. Tip 2. In our first reading today, we hear that one's speech reveals what's in one's heart. So this week, notice, what do my words reveal? Do I say good things that build people up, that make them know they're loved by God? Or I say bad things that tears them down? Do my words reveal a heart that's full of gratitude or a heart that's full of negativity? What's in my heart? You know a tree by its fruit. Well, what fruit do you want in 40 days? Who do you want to be? What do you want to be able to do? Do you want to be more like Christ? Well, first step is acknowledging I'm not there, seeing this gap, but then taking the first step. Not because I'm a garbage human being who's the worst, because I'm loved by God. I deserve so much better. I don't deserve to crib. I don't deserve these stable vices. But I'm loved by God, and I can respond to that love and change my life. So this Lent, rebuild your stables so you can freely leave them when needed to respond generously to God's love. God bless.